days ago, I had one of those eureka moments, and it had to do with an email I got from someone called Morty Lefko, who writes emails to do with his blog, to do with his interests. And the email just said, the basis, in thousands of people that he's seen, every time there's anger, when he's gotten to the root of it, he's come to a sense of powerlessness. And I had one of those little moments, because over the weekend I had almost gone to anger and then went, no, why should I be angry? The anger would come if I acted powerless and acted as if I had to accept the situation. I'll tell you the situation. Someone delivered wood. They were supposed to put it in one way. The person guaranteed they'd put it there. Very, very clear. I came, he had delivered it and put it somewhere quite different, not as convenient, and basically not where I wanted. Why bother getting angry? Inside me, I feel I have to accept it. Poor him, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I backed off and I went, nah, I see he's got two clear choices. He puts it where it was agreed, or, you know, he can take his wood. I mean, there's lots of wood in the area. He's not the only person with wood. Okay, no more anger, and it worked out well. Then I had, the next day, one of those other little things, anger, powerlessness. And that is, a couple of years ago, we were finishing the basement in the city. Someone did something utterly that did not make sense with the drain pipe in the bathroom. Really didn't make sense. It went across in the middle of the bathroom. You hit your head no matter what you did. Instead of saying to the person, hey, this just does not make sense. No, what was before wasn't ideal, but what you've done as an alternative is truly terrible. I'm sorry. You're the one who suggested it. It's way, way worse. It doesn't work. Please put it back. And if you don't put it back, I certainly can't pay for this. Please leave. We'll find someone else. Instead of that, I got mad at him and got angry at him, as if the only way I could make him pay for his thing was anger. He had to take anger. I don't know what would have happened if I'd said, look, you know, this is nuts. I mean, I did tell him it was nuts, but I told it to him with a tone of contempt. As opposed to just, this does not work. I have no idea why you suggested it. It just doesn't work. You've really made the situation incredibly worse, in fact, unworkable. So please, it was your suggestion. It's not viable. He could have reacted against it. Instead, he had my anger. And my God, what a small payment for him. My anger, lots of work, lots of money, and I had the anger. Biggest, I don't even know, epiphany, eureka. A little over a year ago, after about 4 months of suggesting to Philippe, you know, this really, you know, you say you're going to do this, it's being put off, etc., etc. It's trying to get him to do it, trying to get somebody hired, being very nice about it, not getting angry about it. In the end, he left, and the work was undone. Instead of just going, it's not mine, I didn't take it on. What I did is I did this thing of taking on something inappropriately, and the payment was anger. I was furious at him for the next month. And in fact, it ended up destroying or ending the relationship. He met someone else. There was this period of anger. And the crazy thing was, we'd been getting closer together, things were better, things were flowing, things were blossoming. We'd been listening to this online series for 12 weeks, which, of course, put the focus each on ourselves. And as we were getting from this, week after week, it flowed better and better between us. But instead, when he left, this major thing was undone, or it wasn't even that major. If we had talked about it, said, you know, etc. But anyhow, it was left on my plate. I could just have gone. And then he might have gotten angry if I'd just gone, you know, this has been an issue for about a little over 4 months. You know, I just can't take it on. I'm busy with other things. It's just too much. In fact, what happened is I tried to get a friend. When she didn't respond or fast enough, etc., it ended up costing the friendship because she said yes, she didn't, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Tried hiring. I'm out of my league. It was awful. I felt inundated. I felt overwhelmed. I felt out of my league. I felt I was burdened. All kinds of things. All I needed to do, because I felt like I was powerless to say no. I somehow in me didn't have the right to say no. I don't know if then it's powerlessness. There's something in me that just blocked my getting my priorities right. Having the right to say no. I said no about the wood, no anger, and I realized that there are lots of situations where people do things that are not great, and I do not get angry. And if I'm just leaning forward right now, it is because there's a cat jumping down, and you've just heard the cat jump down, and I didn't want the cat to jump on the camera. I have students who write brilliant papers, great, terrible papers. They don't do what they're asked, they don't follow instructions, it's not on the topic, all kinds of things. It doesn't even cross my mind to get angry. I just go, hey, this is what I asked for, this is what you gave me. In fact, being nice, I allow them to rewrite. Unless it's just too flagrantly, uncaringly written. But I don't get angry because I don't take that I have to pass them for that. And I think about other situations. I've heard about lots of things about people doing something incompetent, etc. There are things I will get angry about if they really hurt people, but so often I don't get angry. It's somebody else's stuff. I don't take it on. So anyhow, I really got a series of eureka moments with this taking on anger inappropriately and the incredibly high cost. Because you know how high the cost is? I was seen as a totally bad person. I was, inside me, a totally bad person. Well, no, not inside me. I felt I was right to be angry. But Philippe didn't get angry. He got angry at me. He cut off at me. So by taking on stuff, so who won? Well, there were people whose work got done that hadn't been done for a few months that was important to do, but I hadn't undertaken it. I could just have said, no, sorry, like, you know, you have to, like, I don't know, like, you know, Philippe could have not done what he was doing, you know, could have come back and helped me. The clients could have been lost. Yes, one of those clients was tremendously helped with the work that was done and was extremely grateful that we kind of saved her summers, saved her necks, saved her financially. Great. But I want to compare that to what was the cost to me in my anger, cost to the relationship, etc., not getting my priorities straight. I took her on. There are millions of people with harder situations, and I don't take them on. So, I don't know what the entire bottom line is, but a huge thing has to do with anger coming from a sense of powerlessness, or more than just powerlessness, powerlessness in my case specifically to say no to something where I've made it clear what I wanted. Like, they're not just arbitrary situations. I made it clear what I wanted about the wood. I made it clear about, no, I didn't make it clear about the pipe because I had no idea anyone would do anything that utterly nutty. But, I mean, why accept something totally incompetent and nutty? No reason. It's my inability to hold someone else responsible. So, your sense of powerlessness may be different. Your anger may not come from powerlessness. But if it does, this has been my brief story. I'm still reeling from this, still thinking about that, and still going, how do I totally disconnect it? How do I connect more rapidly the next time? Because there still was a bit of upsurge. There are strategies for doing this. If you come to Elsa's Ideas, there's going to be a link to where you can find strategies, a really good strategy, one way for breaking this kind of inner belief. So Elsa's Idea, ELSASIDEAS.com. Take care, and until next time, this is Elsa.